Hola chicos, welcome to Spanish Lessons with Seba. Today we're going to discuss one of the Spanish tenses, el imperfecto. So, what is this tense and why it is used, and how we can conjugate verbs in that tense? Well, el imperfecto, it is the tense that emphasizes habitual actions, something that in English is expressed with used to construction. For example, he used to go to that store every day for many years. Or it is used to emphasize that something was ongoing. Something was ongoing. The sun was shining when he entered the forest. Or she was dressed really well. That is ongoing. It is not a particular event that happened at a certain time. Or the sky was blue, or the birds were singing, or he was sleeping when the telephone rang. So all those usages will be the imperfecto. So let's talk for a second about its name. El imperfecto is called imperfecto or imperfect in English because it deals with the actions that are either not complete, or it is unclear whether they are complete, or they do not have definite beginning or definite end. Yeah? So let's make sure that we keep in mind that name imperfecto. It will help us to distinguish when we need to use it and when we don't. So let's pretend we're going to listen to the explanations of the old turtle professor. Can you imagine old turtle professor that will explain the imperfecto using his own biography? All right, so let's take a look. So first of all, in order to conjugate the imperfect, news number one, it is probably the easiest tense in Spanish. Good news. News number two, it has almost no exceptions. It has only 3 irregular verbs. Kind of amazing. So let's take a look at it. So you have 3 groups of verbs in Spanish. Verbs that end on AR, verbs that end on the ER, and the verbs that end on IR. So for this particular conjugation, we're going to lump together ER and IR into one group, and AR will constitute the other group. So the conjugation will be created with the help of ABA, just remember it, for AR, and IA for the verbs that end on ER and IR. Let's see what I mean by that. Normal present tense conjugation is done like that. You have the verb, you find out what the ending is, you take the ending out, and then you conjugate the verb. So it will be the same procedure. So you have a verb jugar. You know that it means to play. So the AR is the ending of this verb. So you take it out and you have the jug is left. Is it correct? So you write it here. And then you add, because the verb is AR, clearly. So you say jugaba. So you added aba, that aba. And then jugaba, and then it means I used to play or I was playing, because you have here yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, you plural used in Spain, you plural, and they. So let's see how it works for the others. Jugaba, and then you just put the ending who, you put that aba everywhere. And then you put the personal endings. You put here jugaba, jugaba doesn't take the ending. Jugábamos, jugabais, jugaban, you put the end. So it would mean I used to play, you used to play, he, she used to play, or you, sir, or you, madam, used to play. We used to play, you plural used to play only in Spain, and then you plural used to play, and they used to play. So you have jugaba, jugabas, jugaba, jugábamos, jugabais, jugaba. Is it all? Almost. You need the accent mark on jugábamos. Why? Because the natural accent has to fall on the penultimate A, and it doesn't, so it breaks the rule, so it's jugábamos. Hmm? So let's do the same operation for comer. Comer belongs to other group because it ends on ER. So instead of aba, you're going to use ia. All the rest will be exactly the same as in this conjugation. So it will be comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comíais, comían. Hmm? So remember that we talked about the old turtle professor? Okay, this is the old turtle professor in 1925. And he used to play. How would you say? You would say jugar is to play, take the ending out, so it would be jugaba. Él jugaba con los globos. El globo. Él jugaba con el globo. He used to play because it was many times. There is no particular time frame. In 1925, he was young. You do not say he was playing at 3 o'clock. You're saying he used to play. So that's why you used jugaba. In 1955, he used to eat a lot of ice cream. How would you say that? You conjugate the verb comer, and it will be comía. He used to eat a lot of ice cream. Then he became rebel in 1975. He had a mullet, and he had a guitar, and he was trying to change the world, and he was playing the guitar. How do you say to play? It's tocar. So you have the verb tocar, you take ere out and you add aba, so it will be tocaba, tocaba la guitarra. He used to play the guitar. Then in 95 he became more conventional, and he was accepted to the grad school, and he started reading a lot. And to read is leer. And you have ending er. You take it out, you add ia, and so you'd say él leía mucho. He was reading a lot. So let's see how the imperfect works for the descriptions. You have here, let's say, when he was young, in the 70s, he used to run in the park, and then he met a stunning turtle. So you could say ella era muy bonita. Why did you say era? Because it is the irregular conjugation of to be, ser, in imperfect. And we're going to see that on the next page. So let's deal with the irregulars on the next page. For right now, let's deal with the regulars. So you could say él corría. He used to run. While he was running, he saw her. Él corría, he was doing something. Él pensaba, he was thinking of something when he saw her. Él hacía ejercicio. Hacía ejercicio. Ejercicio is exercise, so he was doing exercise. So we have two actions here. One action was ongoing, and then the other action interrupted it when he saw her. So you could say la vio. La vio is the preterite, and you could put a timestamp in here. At 11:15, he saw stunning turtle in the park. So this one is not the imperfect. This one is the preterite because it has the particular timestamp. While he was running, running doesn't have particular timestamp. While he was thinking, it doesn't have a particular timestamp. While he was doing, no particular timestamp. Then he saw her. You have two actions, one interrupting, one interrupted. The interrupted action will be the imperfect because it has no particular timestamp. So let's say the same evening she went to a party, and you could use two parts of the sentence in a parallel structure. While she was drinking, to drink is tomar or beber. So while she tomaba, she was talking, conversaba, or hablaba. Note, all of them would use that aba, the imperfect. She was doing one action, one, while she was doing the other action. While she was drinking, she was talking. While he was drinking, he was talking. So the imperfect could be used as the background in the case number one. While something is going on, the other thing, boom, happened as the important event. Or it could be, as in the second case, a parallel structure. While one thing is going on, the other ongoing action is going simultaneously. Okay? So the imperfect is going to use for the descriptions of the background. While he was running, background, he saw her, the main event. Or it could be used as both actions in the background. While she was speaking, she also was drinking. All right, we'll see how the imperfect is used for the background. The sun was shining. It's not the main event. You cannot put the timestamp. The sun didn't start shining at exactly 11:12. No, you cannot do it. She looked great. Again, no timestamp. She was looking great. She was in the process of looking great, and the sun was shining, which means both of these sentences would use imperfecto. His blue hat was stunning. Again, you cannot put timestamp. His blue hat could not possibly look stunning, to be looking stunning at 11:20. No timestamp. It was the process. That's why you use the imperfect. The birds were singing. It's a background. All right, let's see the cases where you are not going to use the imperfect because it's not a background, because it's the main event. He gave her flowers. That's the main event. He gave her flowers at exactly, possibly, 11:05. Is it timestamp? Yes, that's why you use the preterite. Preterite deals with the events that can be placed at a particular time. She smiled and scratched her ear. Are they both particular actions? Yes. Did she do it only once? Yes. Do we emphasize those actions that she did it once? Yes. That's why you use the imperfect. You don't use the imperfect, or you use the preterite. Because again, you can put particular timestamp on these actions. They conversed until sundown. Until the sundown. That's the timestamp. Until you emphasize the beginning or the end of the conversation. That's why you do not use the imperfect. So they laughed. At a particular moment, they started laughing. If you emphasize that they laughed at a particular moment, you do not use imperfect. So the cases when you do not use the imperfect, all the cases are when you want to emphasize that something happened at a particular moment. Looking great, singing birds, shining sun, all of it is the background. It is not the main event. That's why you do use the imperfect. Imperfect, and then here will be the preterite, because you emphasize the beginning or the end of a certain action. Finally, you have here the three verbs that are used irregularly in the imperfect. There are only three. Ir, it is iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, don't forget the accent mark. Iba is iban, which means I used to go, you used to go, he used to go, she used to go, you, sorry, you ma'am, used to go, we used to go, you, plural, used to go, they used to go. Note that it is also as a secondary meaning would be used while I was going, while you were going, while. So it will be used for the repeated action in the past or ongoing action. Next one is ser, to be. Era, eras, era, éramos, don't forget the accent mark. Eran, what I meant was erais. Eran, so also the irregular verb conjugation. And it is I used to be, you used to be, he, she, you, sir, you, madam used to be, we used to be. You plural used to be, you plural used to be, or they used to be. Huh? Ver is to see, and it is the third irregular verb of the conjugation of the imperfect. Yeah? I used to see, you used to see, he used to see, and so forth. So let's see the final examples. You see here the turtle when he was a rebel in his 70s stage, maybe late 70s. Él iba a los conciertos. He used to go to the concerts. Is it a particular concert? No. Was it his lifestyle? Was it general description? Yes, he used to go to the concerts. Él era rebelde. He used to be the rebel. He used to be the rebel. Él se veía impresionante. He looked impressive. He used to look impressive. It is something that is a description. All the descriptions are going to be used in the imperfect. But fue rebelde. In this case, you emphasize the end. He is not a rebel anymore. Remember, he became a professor. He stopped being a rebel. He's not a rebel anymore. Done. That's why it's present. Él fue al concierto. In this case, you are speaking about particular concert, and actually this definite article helps you to see that. He went to a particular concert. You can put a timestamp on it. It's not a repeated action in the past. All right, so recapitulation. In Spanish, there is a tense that lumps together the English construction of used to and the ongoing was. Sleeping, was singing, was. It's not exactly as in English, there is no exact equivalent, but it makes the expression more exact and precise. And this is the way of dealing and emphasizing the actions that are ongoing or the habitual in the past rather than one time happened. So it makes Spanish very exact and precise, and I think it is a beautiful tense to learn, very easy, and then the practice will help you to become perfect. If you need practice on the imperfect, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to record it in about 2 weeks and put it on my channel. So I hope this video was useful to you, and ciao, pescao.